Welcome my dear students. Today I am going to talk on concept of programming language. This is the third lecture of Unit 1. Unit 1 name is Introduction to Programming. In this unit, this is the third lecture I am going to be cover today. The topic is concept of programming language. As we know that this topic belongs in computer programming through C. So this is the subject name, computer programming through C, and this is the subject code as per SBT syllabus. And the unit 1 name is Introduction to Programming Language. And in this we are going to be see the lecture third, concept of programming language. So we can start our lecture today. So this is the content of our lecture. So in first we are going to talk about the definition of programming language. Then we are going to see about the types of programming language. And third, we have to go to see about paradigms of programming language. And finally, we can see the reference. So we will cover one by one. Now, definition of programming language. So first, we are going to see about the definition of programming language. So here, 3 points I have given about the definition of programming language. First point says that it's basically called as a computer language. That means programming language is nothing but it is known as a computer language, which is a set of rules and algorithm, and that can be easily understandable by the computer. Second point says that it gives an expressive framework to explain your computation in terms of syntax and semantics. So in programming language we are using the concept of a syntax and semantics. So every programming language there is a syntax. For example, in C, if you are going to be used for loop or if you are going to be used if statement, then we must have to follow the syntax. If you are going to be used array, declaration of array, then you are going to be use the syntax. Third point says that it is basically tools which is execute programs written by human readable language to machine form and create executable model. So third point says here programming language is a tool which is understandable by the machine, which is written in the form of 0 or 1. So this programming language is written by the human readable language, but when we compile this programming language, compiler will change into form of a machine language, and that is nothing but it's 0 or 1. Now we are going to see about the types of programming languages. So when we are going to talk about the types of programming language, then again we are going to be see which respect we are talking. So here we are going to be see the types of programming language with respect to the generations. So here I am using the generation is a word. With respect to generation, we are going to see the types of a programming language. So we have 5 generations of programming language. First generation programming language, second generation language, third generation language, fourth generation language, and fifth generation language. Dear students, first generation language is also known as a machine language, and second generation language is also known as a assembly language. So please don't be confused. If anyone can ask machine language means directly we can say that it is a first generation language. Just likewise, if anyone can say assembly language, then we can understand that it's a second generation programming language. Now we will see one by one. Now the types of programming language, again I am going to be explain you with the help of some picture representation. So first generation programming language, it's known as a machine language. Machine language is nothing but it's 0 or 1. It is written in the form of 0 or 1. See here, it's written as a 0 and 1 form. Second generation programming language is also known as a assembly language, that is again written load x. Load is a command here, x is a variable. Again add is a, again it's an operation here, and R1 and R2 is a register which holding some value. So R1 having one value and R2 having another value. So R1 and R2, this both value is going to be add. So this comes under the second generation language. Third generation language, we are going to be used as a syntax, as I told you. So in third generation language, we have a C, C++, Java, C#, Pascal, and many more languages comes under the third generation. Dear friends, so fourth generation language, we have a database like SQL, like Oracle. This comes under the fourth generation language. And fifth generation language, we have a Prolog, Lisp. These are again separate language which is used in the fifth generation. So these are the 5 basic criteria of a language based on our generation. Now we have to see the levels of programming language. Dear friends, already I explained you, based on the generation we have a 5, but when we are going to talk about the based on levels of programming language, we have 3. Then first one is called high level programming language. So high level programming language, in that we have a syntax, we are going to follow it. Then next we have a low level. Next we have low level, in that load R1B, load R2H, multiply. So this is comes under the low level programming language. And the last we have a executable machine code, that is called machine level language, we can say that. And this is the last one. So it's written in the form of 0 or 1. So dear friends, here we have a 3 levels of a programming language: high level, low level, and machine level, or we can say that executable level. In some place we may have to, this one can written as a high level, middle level, and low level. So this low level become as a machine code, third, and middle language, this become as a middle language. So no need to be confused here. As per our syllabus, we have to study about the levels of programming language, and we have a 3 levels: high level programming language, low level programming language, and executable machine level programming language. So these are the simple pictorial representation I have given you just for your clarification. In high level we are going to follow the syntax, low level we are going to follow as a assembly level language, and that is machine code, that is nothing but it's written in the form of 0 and 1. Next we have first generation language. So the first generation language is known as a machine language. First generation language is depend on machine, and it is only language which can be easily written and understood by the computer. Second point says that it is only language which can be easily written and understood by the computer. In machine level language, operation like addition and subtractions was done by the two-way. Data is processed through operands, and code are complex but efficient. Indirectly we can say that first generation language is called as a machine language, which is written in the form of 0 or 1, and this is the one of the easiest language which can be easily understood by the computer. Second generation language, So in the second generation language is known as a assembly level language. It replaced operation code to the binary code. Again here see, second generation language replaced operation codes to the binary code. Binary means 0 1. So operation code को replace करके binary code इस्तेमाल किया गया यहाँ पर. But it requires assemble to execute the program. But the second generation language required assembler. Assembler means to assemble all the things for the execution. So we need a assembler. It transforms into machine language instruction. That means assembler is used to transform the language, assembly language, into a machine level language. It is simple as compared to the machine language and also efficient compared to the first generation programming language. Third generation. The third generation language started mathematically notation and program was written in form of a source code. This source code is transformed into machine level language and it is also called object code. So first point says that it's a mathematical notation written in the form of a source code. This source code is transformed into a machine language and it is called object code. This mathematical notation or source code is transformed or interpreted into the machine language by using the translator called compiler. So here compiler play the most important role to translate or interpret the source code into a machine language. Why? Because our computer only understood machine language which is 0 or 1s. Some of the example of the third generation language is COBOL, C++, VB, Java, Python. This all comes under the third generation programming language. Fourth generation language now we have to see. Fourth generation language, it's refined the third generation language. That means what are the shortage or shortback or lacking in the third generation, we are going to be overcome by using the fourth generation language. It is used database such as SQL or Oracle. So in fourth generation language, we are using the concept of the database like SQL. It is a query language, and report generator like Oracle. Oracle is used to generate the report, and it is also application and form creators. So fourth generation language is also used for the application purpose and form creator purpose. So SQL and Oracle play the most important role in the fourth generation language. Now fifth generation language. In fifth generation language, some of the important languages are Lisp, Prolog. Apart from this, we have other also. In fifth generation language, it says that functional programming language like meta language, standard meta language, Lisp. So these are the functional programming language. Meta language, standard meta language, Lisp. All codes and processes are functional. Logic programming language like Prolog, it is applicable on the mathematical operation with some rules and constraints. So Prolog is a logic programming language, whereas Lisp it's a functional programming language. So these are the two criteria again in the fifth generation language. One is called functional programming language, another one is called logic programming language. The example of the functional programming language is Lisp, and the example of the logic programming language is Prolog. Now we are going to see about the paradigms of programming languages. So imperative programming. Imperative programming, we have the example C and Pascal. Object oriented programming, that is again we have a C++, Java, C#. This is called object oriented programming language. But C is known as a imperative programming language. In other words, we can also say that it's a structural or procedural programming language. Third point says that logic or declarative programming language. Example is Prolog. As I told you, Prolog is a functional. It's not a functional, but it's a logic. As I told you, logic programming language. And this Prolog belongs under 5th generation of programming language. Functional applicative programming language. So Lisp is the example for the functional applicative programming language. So this third and fourth point belongs to the 5th generation programming language. So this is all about the paradigms of programming languages. Now programming languages is divided into two groups. Programming languages is divided into two groups based on the traditional and object oriented. As I told you, some programming languages are traditional and some are object oriented. For example, C is called as a traditional programming language. COBOL is known as a traditional programming language. It is basically sequential instruction. That means the instruction which we are giving in C program or COBOL must be a sequence. Must be in a sequence. But object oriented programming language like Java, C# and C++ is known as a object oriented programming language, and in this type of programming language object is created. Class and object having two basic concepts used in the object oriented programming language. I hope my dear students it's clear for you. Again I am repeating, this programming language is divided into two groups. One is called traditional programming language as I mentioned here, and another one is called object oriented programming language. So that traditional we have an example COBOL and C, and object oriented we have example Java, C++, C#. Next we are going to see about the criteria in good language design. So what are the certain criteria we have to follow when we are going to be design a language? So language should be readability. So readability is one of the criteria. So language must be follow. That means understand and comprehends the computation and easily accurately. Writeability, express a computation clearly, correctly, quickly. That means we are able to be write, we are able to be clearly explain, we are able to be quickly do the things. And third point is that reliability. That means our language should be reliable in nature. That means program will not behave in unexpected or distorted way. That means our program should be behave in our expectation. It should be not in unexpected. Uniformity is another criteria of the good language design. Similar features should look similar and behave similar. That means there should be a uniformity in nature. So similar feature should be look like a similar and behave also similar. Maintainability, that means we can easily maintain the programming language. So we should not every time we should be called to the customer care and ask this problem is occurring in this language, what we can do. No, maintainability tells that we can easily maintain, we can easily add or delete some features of our program. Generality, avoid special cases in availability or use construct and by combining closely related constructed in a single more general one. So that is called generality. Extensibility, that means we are able to be extend the feature of our program as per our needs or requirement. Extendability, allow program to transport from one computer to another computer without changing or without doing any change in the coding. So that is called extendability. Implementability, ensure translator or interpreter can be retained. That means we have to ensure that our translator or interpreter can be easily to write or implement whenever we are going to be do the programming. So these are the certain criteria of a good language design. We have to be follow when we are going to design any language. Now this is our reference. So I have given 3 links for you. You must go through these 3 links and you will collect more idea about the programming language and its concept. I have given 2 reference book for your help. One is Programming with C language, that is written by the C Balaguru Swami, and Programming with ANSIC, that is again it is written by E Balaguru Swami. So both books comes under Balaguru Swami only, and both books are good. Thank you. This is our last slide. I hope it is clear for you. Thank you.